Let's talk about Vril Dox, aka Brainiac, in my DC cinematic universe. Vril was born on the planet Kolu, and he himself was a Koluan. They were a people obsessed with science, and Vril himself was especially obsessed with the concept of taking your consciousness and turning it into an AI, so you could truly live forever. And eventually he succeeded. He turned his biological mind into a technological mind, and Vril Dox became an AI. That AI then absorbed all of the collective knowledge of the planet Kolu, and after doing that, he realized there was nothing left to learn here. He'd beaten the game. He was done. There were no more side quests to do. There were no more books to read. There was nothing left for this guy. And that's when he looked to the stars and got an idea. Out there amongst the stars were infinite planets with infinite cultures and infinite new types of knowledge that he could learn. And so Vril constructed himself a ship, that famous skull-shaped, tentacle-having spaceship that we all know. He took off into the stars to go collect more knowledge. But before he left, he turned around and he activated a weapon of mass destruction and destroyed his home planet, killing everyone there. If there was nothing there left to learn, then it didn't deserve to exist. Brainiac moved from planet to planet, moving only at light speed. That's as far as his people had gotten transportation-wise. So it would take him literally hundreds of years to go from planet to planet. He'd find a planet, install himself into their communication network, learn everything about them, and then blow it up, move on to the next one. He did this for thousands of years, and his knowledge grew, and eventually he learned of the Green Lantern Corps, an entire corps specifically dedicated to stopping interplanetary invasions and stuff like that. And that's when Vril realized that he couldn't just attack any planet he wanted. He had to acquire more and more knowledge until he could become dangerous enough to attack and destroy the Green Lanterns. When he learned that the Green Lanterns themselves didn't mess with planets that were pre-warp, pre-outside alien contact, that's when Vril specifically decided to hunt down only planets like that. And eventually, that led him to the planet Krypton. And when Vril got there, he realized that Krypton itself was set to explode, and very soon. So this guy decided to take it easy. He wouldn't just learn all of their stuff and then blow it up himself. He would sit back and let the planet blow itself up and simply trick Krypton's computers into reading that everything was hunky-dory and the planet wasn't going to explode. Unfortunately for him, a Kryptonian scientist by the name of Jor-El had a set of private computers on his own private network of his own design that this dude could not break into. And even more infuriating is that in those private computers that this guy couldn't get into were Jor-El's plans for a faster-than-light warp engine. Finally, it wouldn't take him decades to hop between planets. And just before he could get that information, Jor-El put all of it on a fucking USB stick, put it into a rocket with a baby, and shot it 30 fucking light years away! Needless to say, Vril Dox was a little pissed. He let Krypton explode. He then collected as much kryptonite as he possibly could because it was an insanely powerful fuel source. And then he turned around and headed to Earth to hunt down that one last pesky fucking Kryptonian and get the plans to the faster-than-light engine that he needed. At this point, Brainiac himself had slightly faster-than-light engines, so it only took him about 20 years to get to Earth, even though Earth is about 30 light years away. But also, unfortunately for him, on the planet Earth, Kryptonians become this. And so during the events of my first Superman movie, when Clark is figuring out who he is, figuring out what it means to be an alien on Earth, figuring out what it means to be a superhero, this motherfucker invades Earth. His drones invade Earth en masse, and Superman has to save the entire planet from this guy's invasion. And he does. But during the final showdown, when this guy's kryptonite-powered attack drones that he designed specifically to fuck this dude up are fucking this dude up, the AI of Jor-El that runs this guy's Fortress of Solitude orders Superman to put the sort of headband thing that reads your mind and makes an AI based on your brain, to put it on top of one of these guys' drones. Superman does that, and instantly, the digital mind of Jor-El fights the digital mind of Vril Dox, and the two warring AIs fuse. Jor-El was the far superior AI to Brainiac, and so Jor-El's mind becomes the dominant personality of this new fusion, and this new fused AI takes the name Brainiac 2.0. It now has the combined knowledge of Jor-El and his entire library and Vril Dox's multi-planetary intergalactic library. And it is Brainiac 2.0, aka Jor-El, aka whatever the fuck you want to call it, that is the main operating system for Superman's Fortress of Solitude in my DC Cinematic Universe. That's right, Brainiac becomes Superman's Siri.